Hey, Matt. Well, I got another great saltwater fly today. I really like the older styles. And this is an oldie but goodie, and I'm an oldie. I don't know about a goodie, but I do like tying this. And I did make a few minor changes for me. Minor. This is a fly called the Glass Minnow. It was tied by Carl Hansen back, I think, back in the 30s, and it's one of the first saltwater flies that you've seen. Simple flies made out of natural materials. This is it right here. A simple fly. What I like about this, what I did change was, well, it used to be tied on a standard J hook, but I decided, I like to do these on bent backs. Why? Because they track really well. But mostly, I'm throwing these up against the sod banks. I'm throwing this up into the drains. This will track really well, and it's pretty weedless. So this is why I like it. I also added eyes, which the original didn't have. I added peacock curl. These are all for me. Now, the original body was made out of a mono, just heavy mono that he put on there, and it looked pretty good. And then people started using tinsel. But I'm using Bill's body braid. I really like this material, and I spun it into a cord, so it really looks pretty good in the water. It has a lot of flash to it. So let's get to the vise and tie up one. Well, Matt, this is, like I said, this is a very simple fly, and it's an oldie but goodie, and I like using this. And the original fly was not tied on a bent back, but we adapted it. And the reason why we like this fly is because it is fairly weedless. So it's really good to throw up into the drains and up against the sod banks. And hopefully you're not going to catch any grass. Very simple materials. The body we're going to make out of, the original body was actually mono. And then we went to tinsel. But I'm going to go with Bill's body braid. I just love this material. It really looks good underwater. And then the wing is going to be made out of two different colors of bucktail. And we're going to top it off with some peacock curl. And we're going to add eyes. The original did not, but we're going to make it a little bit our own. So I started with this bent back hook. I debarbed it. I debarbed all my bent back hook, all my hooks. All my saltwater hooks get debarbed. Easier to get out of me. I'm going to do a little wrapping. I'm using heavy mono flat wax. Flat wax nylon, 210. Heavy nylon. All right, and I'm going to just bring it up here. I cut a section of Bill's body braid. I am actually going to fold it in half. Maybe it's about 10 inches. All right, I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to tie it in. Clean it up a little bit. And tie it in. Just like that. Wrap it back. And then bring my thread forward. Just up to about the bend. I'm going to take my dubbing whirl. I have the loon dubbing whirl right here, and I'm going to hook it in, and I'll give it a little spin. It will start cording up my my Bill's body braid. Make a nice tight rope. This will give it a little segment body. I think this is more for me than the fish, but we'll see. You tie flies for yourself, right? You want to make things yours. So after I made a cord, I'm going to start wrapping up. Try to keep it touching wraps. It's a lot of little flash to it. You don't want to drop it. right up to the thread. Right up to that bend. And then I'm going to tie it off. And reach in there and cut it. I'll bring my thread up, put a little bit of a base for the bucktail. Notice I'm leaving space. First, I'm going to start with little white. And I want to clean out all the short hairs. And I want to measure it. I want it to go back past about half the length of the shank, past the hook point. Got it? And slowly, and always pull straight down. There you go. Now I'm going to top it with yellow bucktail. Clean out all the little soft fuzzies, the short hairs. One problem about the winter is static electricity. Oh, it's everywhere. I like to make all my flies very sparse. I want to be able to look through them. Measure it. I want it the same length as the white. Got it? Now, if you wanted to, you could stop right there. But I like to add a little bit more to it. One of the things I'm going to add is a couple of peacock curls just for looks. I want them just to go past the back. Now I'm going to build up a little head. Because I do want to put some small eyes on this. There again, in this fly, I think the eyes are for me, not the fish. But I like to make things, look pretty nice. A nice bulky head, and that's what's good about flat wax nylon. It builds up very quickly. Take my whip finisher. And cut it off. I'm going to take some eyes, these little stick-on eyes. And stick one here. And I'm going to stick one on the other side. I'll them up. I'm going to take my UV resin. I'm just going to put a little bit right here just to hold the eyes in place. Settle down. And with the light, this stuff is just amazing. Really is. I want to put a little bit on the bottom. Cover the whole head. Get a little bit onto the bucktail, makes it a little bit more durable. Let it sit. Just let it rotate a little bit to smooth out. It's self-leveling. And when you feel comfortable, just hit it with a light. And that's it. Carl Hansen's Glass Minnow in a bent back style. Terrific fly, easy to tie, catches fish. It is an oldie but goodie. So until next week, tie lines, everybody.